This is part 2 of my Liberty tutorial videos, so if you haven't watched the first one, I suggest you go watch it before you watch this video. For this tutorial, I'm going to be working with Jon. He's a Fjord Pony that we have at our barn. So with him, I taught him how to do all the first steps that I explained in my first video, so that's the follow me and then the come here. So now I'm going to be starting to work on teaching him to do Liberty circles around me without having a lunge line. So to start up my session, I'm just going to do a little bit of a refresher and touch bases on his come here cue and the follow me, which he could have definitely used a little bit more practice at that. The first thing I'm going to start introducing after all my other cues are solid are going to be the changes of direction. So basically all I'm going to do is do part of the come here cue, which is take a couple steps back. When the horse faces towards me, I'm going to step to their other shoulder and then send them in the other direction. And you can see with my body language, my arms, my whips, I'm being really clear as to which direction I want him to go. I'm even over-exaggerating the movements a little bit just so that he really understands what I want. If they get confused and they don't come towards you when you back up, step towards their haunches a little bit and to the side and then take a couple steps backwards. So basically what you're doing is you're asking them to yield the haunches away from you and then make them face towards you. Still make sure, however, that they don't come into the circle whenever they want, that they only come in if they are asked and invited to come into your space. So once that's really solid, the next thing I'm going to start introducing is the spiral game. So as you can see here, what I want him to do is to spiral his circle in towards me. So what I'm doing is I step towards his haunches and I ask him to yield them away from me, and then his circle is going to progressively get smaller and smaller. This is a lot about body language. So you can see I'm turning my shoulder kind of towards the inside, and that's telling him that it's okay for him to come in. So you're going to have to play around with your body language and try to see what your horse understands. But I'm going to keep playing a little bit around with this game. So I ask him to spiral into the circle, and then I might ask him to do a change of direction. And you can notice when I'm asking him to come in, I'm not pulling on the rope at all. It's all done by body language. If he still doesn't understand, then we go back to just changes of directions. Your goal is to make them sharp and attentive to every little body language movement you do. So right here, he did it at the trot, and this was actually a perfect spiral. He came in nice, and then he stayed on a nice trot circle around me. So that's what you want it to look like. Playing around with this exercise is going to be what makes it so that you can do the Liberty circles. So here I unclipped his halter, and I'm asking him to do the circles, but just at a nice, calm walk. He's never done it before, so I don't want to put too much energy into it and get him confused. If I ever feel like that I'm starting to lose him and I'm losing his focus and he's starting to walk away from me, then I walk towards his haunches again and try to get his attention back by yielding those away from me and then making his circle smaller again. When I feel like we've got it down pretty well at walk, then I might add a little bit more energy and go into a trot. And as you can see, I'm still playing around with the changes of direction that we were doing earlier. That's just keeping his mind focused and attentive. He never knows when I might ask something, so he has to stay attentive and pay attention to what I'm saying. The key thing to doing this kind of thing is to keep it in the spirit of a game. So when you're doing this kind of stuff with them, make it playful for them, make it fun. Don't overdo it, or else they might get bored of it and then they get sour, and then there's no way that they're going to want to do it again. So he actually picked this up really fast. So then I started doing a little bit more. We took the halter off because I figured he was pretty solid with it. And I just kept playing with the changes of directions. And you can see I'm not having to do as much and as big of a movement as I was doing earlier, because now he knows when I take a step backward, my whip switches to the other side, we're switching directions. Thank you for watching, and good luck trying this with your horses. Let me know how it goes.